At 12 o'clock at night in the bitter cold of December, Union Station in Chicago was nearly empty because the train running between Chicago and New York, the Midnight Express, was 9 hours late. All the passengers had gradually left by other trains or ride shares, but Marcus was still standing there, waiting for the train. It seems I'm the only one left at this train station, but after a day's hectic work, I don't have the energy to go anywhere else. As soon as the train arrives, I'll go to New York by that train. Marcus was looking around the platform while talking to himself. Some homeless people were sleeping under the stairwells of the overpass. Then a homeless man came to him and said, "What are you doing here right now? No train is coming here yet." "The Midnight Express is about to arrive, which is 3 hours late." "Well, you're going to travel on that train at night. Take care of yourself. Don't talk to any stranger." His mysterious words seemed strange to Marcus. He was looking at the homeless man as if hypnotized. He wasn't even aware that the train had arrived. Before he could say anything to him, the signal to depart was given. The train, blowing its horn, picked up speed. Marcus was the only passenger boarding the train from that station, and he somehow managed to board the last car before the train passed him by. He glanced at the homeless man through the door, and the man was still smiling mysteriously. The sudden rush had left Marcus breathless. Standing near the door, he relaxed and sat down on an empty seat. He closed his eyes, thinking about something. The cool air outside the window was soothing to his soul. Then he realized someone was breathing heavily near him. He opened his eyes and saw no one near him. The entire car was empty. There's usually not even room to stand on a Chicago-New York train. The empty car was causing him uneasiness. He stood up from his seat and looked around the compartment. He saw a man sitting on the seat next to the other door. Seeing him, Marcus breathed a sigh of relief. He went and sat down next to him. The man smiled at Marcus mysteriously, but there was a blankness in his eyes. Perhaps the train was empty because it was late. The man kept looking at Marcus and said nothing. Marcus found this strange. He closed his eyes and sat down again, but he began to feel a strange uneasiness. He looked out the window. It was dark and hazy outside. The train had been moving for quite some time, but no station had arrived. This puzzled Marcus. "What are you looking at? Why hasn't a station arrived yet?" Marcus was surprised. The man realized what Marcus was thinking. "What are you thinking? I know no station has arrived and won't. You've boarded the wrong train." "I'm not wrong. I boarded the right train." "Did you notice why no one else boarded this train except you? Why is this entire car empty?" Marcus was now starting to believe what he was saying. He stood near the door and looked outside. He saw only darkness. There was no way to get to the other car. The conductor was gone. He returned to his seat and looked up and saw that the man sitting in front of him was bleeding from his head. His skull was crushed and his eyes were bulging. Seeing this, Marcus got scared and started running away from him. The man was coming closer to him. Marcus stood in the corner of the door, his eyes closed. Then he felt a hand on his shoulder. He opened his eyes and the same man was standing there normally. "What happened? Why were you screaming like this? Is there any problem?" "I just saw you. Your face was injured. There was blood flowing." "Oh, that blood. Years ago, I was injured and you must have seen it because of that trauma. The blood from that injury." "Yes, about 20 years ago, I was traveling on this same train. That day too, this train was late. There were only a couple of passengers with me on the platform. When I got on the train, some drunk guys also got on behind me. Despite the train being empty, they started fighting for space. After a little argument, they threw me out of the moving train. My head hit a signal post and blood streamed from it. I fell on the tracks. But before I could control myself, another train ran over me with a thud. Since then, I have been searching for those people on this train. I don't know when my search will be complete." Saying this, a look of disappointment came on the man's face. "By the way, you tell a good story. If a train had run over you, you wouldn't be alive right now." Who told you that I am alive? I am dead. What a stupid joke. I don't like this kind of joke at all. Saying this, Marcus looked out the window and waited for the next station to arrive. But the train wasn't stopping at any station. You can keep waiting, but this train won't stop. Saying this, the man's appearance started changing. He was in front of Marcus in the same terrifying form he had seen a while ago. Scared, Marcus tried to stop the train by pulling the emergency brake. But as soon as he pulled it, due to the speed of the train and the jolt, he fell to the ground and the man came in front of him. "What harm have I done to you? What do you want from me? I don't even know you. Let me go." Saying this, he begged for mercy from him. He started pleading, but the man started scaring him further, and the stream of blood started flowing from his head. The blood was falling on Marcus. Fear was making Marcus's condition worse. Then suddenly the man backed away. Marcus breathed a sigh of relief. "Can you really help me? Please, I'm ready to do anything for you." Marcus had said it, but his condition worsened due to fear. The man stared at him with wide eyes like a living corpse. "I want freedom. Tell me, can you give me freedom?" "But how can I give you freedom?" Marcus's heart was pounding, and it was clear to his blurred understanding that he was not in a normal situation. The train, the man, and the entire night seemed like a nightmare from which he couldn't wake up. There was fear and confusion in his eyes, but the man standing in front of him wasn't letting him go. "How can I give you freedom?" The man had become serious now. There was no longer that blankness in his eyes. He said softly, "This train has been running since that night. Every time a new passenger boards and faces his fate." Marcus was completely stunned. His breath stopped. Questions began to rise in his mind. Was he also going to be trapped in this train forever? "You can free me. If you can solve the mystery of this train, if anyone can get me out of this train, it's you. You're the last passenger who can leave here. But there's a price." "What price?" The man looked deeply into Marcus's eyes and said softly, "You'll have to give up your place for me. If you want to escape this train, you'll have to play the role of the passenger who dies every time. Your salvation lies in that, but your journey will end here." Fear was clearly visible in Marcus's eyes. He didn't understand what to do. There was no station outside and the train wasn't stopping. The mystery hidden in the man's words had worsened his condition. "Now time is short. Choose. Either you free me and become a part of this train yourself, or your story will end at the next destination." Marcus now had only two options: either make himself a part of this train and free that man, or leave this train forever and become a ghost himself. Marcus gathered his courage and looked out the window one last time, but now there was only pitch darkness, and the rumble of the train merged with the pounding of his heart. His mind calmed and he slowly moved towards the stranger. "Okay, I'll free you." As Marcus said these words, the train suddenly stopped. Despite his panic, Marcus felt the entire car filled with a cool breeze. The man smiled and slowly began to fade into the air. "Now you are the newest passenger on this train. Your salvation will come when someone else boards it." Marcus stood alone. The train doors had opened, but he knew he would never be able to leave. A new passenger was waiting for him at the next station, and one day perhaps someone else would pay the price for his salvation. The train started moving again, but now Marcus knew that this journey had no destination. He was just waiting for the next passenger.
If these stories sent chills down your spine, don't vanish into the darkness without hitting that like button. Share your scariest experience in the comments below, because your story might be featured next. And remember, the scariest thing is missing out, so subscribe now before the next nightmare finds you.